Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 69th Sloka. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. In this particular topic of the traits of the Sthita Prajna, the qualities of the characteristics of the man of steady wisdom, when Bhagavan started explaining from 65th Sloka and up to the 68th Sloka, in and through the message, particularly after the 65th Shloka or 60th Shloka onwards started, the inner peace and the Sukham and Shanti, how the inner peace or the Shanti is itself is the nature of the Atma, and if once the person attains the Shanti, Ashantasya kutah sukham, Bhagavan asked the question, if the person is not recognized his own self, which is the nature of the Shanti, and where is the sukham, happiness or contentment to such a person? Not only that, the first 66th Shloka, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan. When the person drops all his desires from the mind and have the only desire and the abundance on the self, Atmaniyeva Atmana Truptaha Sthita Prajnaha Tada Uchyate. And that not having the desires, to avoid or to control to or keep them in moderation, the person needs the control of the Shama and Dama. Shama means the mind control, Dama means Indriya Nigraham, or the quietude of the mind is Shama and quietness of the senses is called Dama. Indirectly, Bhagavan didn't use these words of the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama Niyama or Shama Dama, but he says Indriya Nigraham, the sense control, not allowing the mind and the sense organs, just let us not leave them loose and don't allow them to go as they want. So this is the main topic is keep on emphasized. That's why in the 68th Shloka, Bhagavan, after saying so many things, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, by constant thinking of the any object or the worldly thing, Sangha Upajayate, attachment will develop, and that attachment will turn as the desire. If the desire is not fulfilled, anger will come. If that anger is too much, then he loses his memory, and in that loss of memory he loses his balance. When he loses the balance, his intellect is totally corrupted, and such a corrupted intellectual person is fallen down. So 8 steps Bhagavan given. So in the 68th shloka, again therefore, you know Arjuna, I am talking all this, and in between Bhagavan given the example also one. As like the boat capsized in the waters with the with the big winds and lost the direction, like that this person whose senses are not under control, who is become a slave to his mind and the control senses, and they will take away his prajna, intellect is looted away. So here, but instead of that, who is having a well control, grihitani sarvashah indriyani indriyardhebhya tasya prajna pratisthita. His buddhi, intellect is now very firm and steady, and he is ready to study the Bhagavad Gita, and he is it is ready to study and receive the knowledge of the Atma. Now, this Indriya Nigraha, that's why, but we have to take in a very, very positive sense this Indriya Nigraha. I think already I have mentioned once before, Shastra is not against for the sensual pleasures. Senses are meant for to indulge in the worldly objects only, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, everything. But same time, these senses should be kept under control means what? Let us ponder on this point again. Controlling. Generally, if I am not controlling and allowing them to go loose, it is called expression. And if I don't allow them and totally kept under control and suppress them, it is called not allowing, it is called suppression. Suppression also is not good a person's psychology. His psychic will get disturbed. And expression also will makes him lose his control and he get lost the direction itself. So this suppression and expression is more better than the suppression. But in what way? In what way? Not as the Western theory of you do whatever your senses feel, you indulge as much you want, you drink, enjoy and eat and be merry. That is not our Shastra's injunction. Express, but instead of expressing word, the Shastra uses the word sublimation. Sublimation. What is the meaning of sublimation? Don't suppress, but don't express in a wrong way. You can express, you can use them moderately, legitimately. That moderate, legitimate expression are allowing them to indulge, okay, is the right way of expression. So this right way of expression and avoiding the wrong way of expression is called sublimation. It's called sublimation. But this thought, this point is for mainly the grihasthas, because grihasthas, they are already entered into the family life, and they have the family members, wife, children, and so many responsibilities, and to take care of all of them, the person has to work, and so many things will be there. They need a house and they need a. But for a vanaprastha or the griha sannyasi, the requirements are very less. So sublimation means for a vanaprastha and sannyasi, that is again different level. But anyhow, the sublimation is the healthy way, rather than suppressing, rather than expressing in a wrong way. This we have to understand. Okay. Then for this, expression, suppression and sublimation. In this, the thing which we have to follow is the sublimation. Okay. Then in the 69th shloka, which I have just read, and I given the meaning to that also. Actually, we completed up to 70. Today I am going to complete the second chapter, but this just recap is important. That's why I am giving some more extra points related to the same shloka. Of course, that 69th shloka is a Grandhi shloka, very naughty shloka, complicated. But I explained through the examples 2-3. What exactly the message in that, again we will see in a different angle. The perceived thing is one. Perceived thing is one. This world, which is the Nama Rupa Prapancha and combination of the Pancha Mahabhutas, it is common for everybody. All of us are perceiving that only. But the persons are many and the perceptions are many. But perceived is only one. If perceived is one, and because perceived by many persons, and if the perceptions are so many, then which perception is correct and which perception is wrong? Who decide this, and who can guide and tell correctly this? No scientist, no psychiatrist, no any doctor, nobody can guide and tell what is the right perception and what is the wrong perception. Because that's why so many different opinions and branches of thinking and people, religions, quarrels, fighting, all these things came into exist. So there should be some perfect guide to guide us to the right perception. First I will tell you one example for this, then I will clarify this, how and what, whom you have to believe, on whom you have to depend on for this right perception or wrong perception to know. Not on our intellect, not on our mind. We cannot justify our mind. We cannot believe our mind. Our intellect also. We are perceiving, seeing something and perceiving something. It is possible. It happens to the intellect and mind. So, intellect also, my own intellect, if it tells differently. That is the problem, no? Why? Otherwise, so many religions and so many fightings, and everybody talks that my opinion and my religion is great. From their standpoint, if you stand along with them and listen, it looks like correct. So, who will decide and how to decide and what is the authority for it? I told that I will give the example. On a seashore beach, two people are sitting or standing looking at the sea, ocean. Both of them are standing from the same in the same spot. Both are perceiving the same ocean, but one person perceives the differences on the ocean surface because of the waves, small wave, big wave, and the droplets and the foam, so many differences, and color differences. Nearby looks different color, and after some distance another color, one direction is another color. So like this, one person sees so many differences by seeing the ocean, because they are appearing, waves are appearing, and waves appearing and disappearing also, that also he is watching, and each wave is differently originating and dissolving, and one wave hitting the other wave, one wave overlap and swallows the another wave. See, all these things he is seeing there, but one other person who is standing, seeing it, looking at the same ocean, he is seeing, his attention is only on the water, not on the either big wave or small wave or the colors appearing, because the different colors are not real. The small big is not real, and wave itself is not real, and the foam is not real, drops and droplets are not real. Real means what? They are all nothing but the water only. Correct or not? So this is called right perception. The fact is water. But instead of seeing the water as the water and the other which are appearing on the water, seemingly appearing differences, if the person perceive them and considering them as real, then naturally he will have a mental disturbance. So in this world, in the same way, instead of seeing the oneness in spite of manyness and seeing the unity in spite of looking diversity, seemingly looking diversity, the ignorant person, the otherwise person, looking at the differences and giving so much importance to that differences, this person is called Ajnani. And who saw that water is the one thing which is permanent, before the wave comes and goes also water only that, it is water always. But on the water, these so many things are happening. Who sees that the water as the water in spite of the apparent modifications is called a Gnani. This is the message given in the 69th Sloka. One step, let us go further. I am telling about the water, waves, and two people are standing. We posed a question, no, now, few minutes before. Leave about the water, ocean, and there are so many things, sir. You are holding on to that one example, or otherwise you are always holding on to the spot and example keep on showing to us. Tell me something. What is something, my dear? Because of you see the Dvaitam, that is multiplicity, because you give the reality to the multiplicity and the Dvaita differences, you are suffering in your life. You are suffering. You are bound to suffer further also. What is suffering means? Coming again into the cycle of this birth and again going into die and getting another body and again going through this Dvaita Anubhavas and again dying. This tedious, boresome, burdensome, meaningless journey of this life, the so-called life, is really called samsara. That's why it means dukkha bhuishtam, dukkha puritam. If you recognize this, then you want real shanti, peace of mind. Who doesn't want? Every one of us wants the peace of mind. All are really searching for that only. Then why we are not successful so far? Whether it is a 50 years of 60 years of my age, by all the new things and the advancement and sophisticated lifestyle, why still I am searching for the peace of mind? Why my mind is becoming pieces, going into pieces? If you think to you this answer, what? The right knowledge is stop seeing the differences. Learn to see the oneness. As that person who sat on the beach and saw the oneness of all these things as water, you also see, but this seeing is not as you saw the water through the eyes, but this seeing is happen only when you use the specs of the Shastra and then you look through the specs or the mirror of the Shastra, and that gives the vision of oneness. So, what is the answer? Who decide that which is the right perception? Who decide the wrong perception? Not you or me or your grandfather or my grandfather or your government or my government, or even the prophets who came in between. The whole problem in the world because of these prophets only. But our Krishna is also avatara, he is not a prophet. No. Okay, he came as avatar prophet only, but he kept in his mind and he is quoting and he is telling all the time, I am talking what Shastra said. So even the Lord came as the Ishvara avatara, he says that Shastra is the authority. He is not telling on his own words with intellect. Left and right, everywhere he is quoting the different Upanishads. Even in the second chapter I told how it related to the Kathopanishad. So many. So, even for Krishna, the Shastra is the authority. For you, me, for any great masters who are all came into this world, particularly in our country, we are talking about country. Shastra means they also tell that we are also having the Shastra. No, we don't accept that as the Shastra. It is created by a human being just few thousands years before, few hundreds years before, and before that, that is not there. But what we are telling Shastra is its eternal teaching. It is a eternal teaching, and it is a Sanatana Dharma. Here Sanatana Dharma means eternal teaching. And this eternal teaching is not written by, composed by any one person on some day. No. We cannot tell the time. Sanatana means itself is ancient also. Sanatana means itself is eternal also. It is ancient and eternal. It is very beginningless and as well as deathless. Sanatanam and eternal, ever living. How it came into existence? We believe and we say it is beginning of the creation itself, the Almighty, whoever it may be, whether you name it or not name it, that Shakti, the Paramatma, has himself given this manual. We all believe and respect that manual. This manual is called the Shastra, which can be applied and applicable for all the periods of times, for all the people, in all the places. That is why it is eternal. No one can destroy or deny this. You catch hold of that Shastra. That's why we give a special name to Apaurusheyam Vedam. Our Shastra, this eternal and Sanatana teaching, Dharma, is Apaurusheyam, not said by any human mouth. Any one human person being created this Panchamahabhutas, but the Samashti Gnana Shakti Sarvagnaha Sarvavyapi Sarvashaktimanana Ishvara. Yes? That Ishvara alone gave the Shastra. So authority, which is right perception, which is wrong perception, who will decide? Shastra decides. So that Shastra we are listening and following. And you never fall down in this. You never go in a wrong way. You never miss the path if you accept and takes this. Sir, as you said only, all other religion people are also telling, sir. Okay, if you think that all other people are religious people are also telling, you go with them. You know what in the other religions and in the whole world is happening? You are not seeing it? How much quarrels, fighting, bloodshed and violence? How a religion can teach the violence like that? If it is propagated and in the name of the God you can kill, okay? But our Shastra also tells in the cause of the protection of Dharma you can destroy and kill the adharmic people. Now again here a problem. Which is Dharma, which is Adharma? what you said is correct or same problem again. Because my doctrine, my opinion is, that's why you don't depend on anybody's opinion. Depend on the opinion of the Shastra. That's why this Shastra is not created by, not knowing this Sanatana eternal teaching, unnecessarily people are criticizing, talking nonsense about it. Okay, what is our point, where we are, why we come into this discussion now? So the wave vision and the water vision, Dvaita, Advaita Drishti and Dvaita Drishti. The Dvaita Drishti people are all in the darkness, sleeping like in the night. Because being the wise man has awakened to the Advaita Drishti, it is in the day. When all others are in the night darkness, avidya, dvaitam, this wise is awakened to the light and the day and seeing the oneness. Water, oneness. He recognizes, he realizes himself that one Brahman, Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam Brahma, Eka Nitya Sara Satyam, I am. Now you got the point. This is the meaning of that Grandhi Sloka 69. Then we'll proceed. Even 70th Sloka also I completed. After talking this much, Bhagavan Krishna giving another example. This, in spite of seeing the multiplicity and my mind have got so many desires and anxiousness, opinions, ideas, ideologies, but in spite of that, if I gain that oneness jnanam, then what will happen? So this is a litmus test for us, whether you are really progressing spiritually or not, or we are reached the pinnacle, the state of the jnanam. If that jnanam is assimilated by me, digested by me, and this is the result. Now and then we can read this sloka and check what Bhagavan said. Apuryamanamachala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. Here also Bhagavan giving, just now I told the ocean, no? That example only. That's why I connected to that, to this ocean example. What ocean? Here, let us go with this small example story. Like, you know, the Ganga river, a perennial river, very big, holy, considered as the big river, and comes from Himalayas and travel through so many places, and ultimately at last in Kolkata, it merges into the ocean. Okay, that place is very considered as the very sacred, where the Ganga river merges in the ocean. That is called Ganga Sagar. Now let us imagine like this, the Ganga, who has got so much a great name and fame and all that, so many followers, devotees, that Ganga now has to enter into the ocean. While entering to the ocean, that Ganga feels sad. Now I am going to merge in this ocean. So then I lose my name, I lose my fame. Hereafter nobody will recognize me. They won't call me as Ganga. Otherwise I have so many names: Alakananda, Mandakini, Bhagirathi. Is that Ganga feels sad? Or another imagination? What is your answer? It won't feel sad. Why? I will tell you. This Ganga, it started fighting with the ocean. Fighting with the ocean. Or boasting with the ocean. Hey, Mr. Sea, see at me. Look at me. I am Ganga. Okay? You know about my glory? Because I am coming and entering into you only, you are looking so big. You are looking so big. Is it, it will talk, the Ganga will talk like that? Okay, Ganga spoken first about, she felt so sad. Another way, she is feeling very arrogant and telling to the ocean. Now, by listening to the words of this Ganges, Ganga, the Samudram, the ocean, will react and say anything? The ocean, even it won't consider at all. It won't consider at all these words of the Ganga. Even the ocean won't look at the Ganga. Why? Because the ocean knows that what to say this to this ignorant Ganga. Okay, with compassion, the ocean says, my dear Ganga, you and me are not different. That much only the ocean can say. It cannot react, it cannot reject, it cannot fight, it cannot feel enmity, anything. Why? It is so infinite. Not only that, the ocean knows that you and me are one. You and me are one. Means what? Oh Jiva, you are nothing but me, Ishvara only. Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. See, this knowledge of, see, the ocean example, in the ocean, so many other rivers also come. So many, all the waters in the world, here and there, ditch water, that water, this water, everything will come and join in the ocean. And lot of water gets evaporate in the summer from the ocean. When heavy rains comes, again the rainwater also falls, rainwater falls also on the ocean. For all these things, ocean anytime feel so heavy or so light? No, it is always grand, glorious, because it is such a big, vast, even the glaciers are floating in the ocean. Glaciers are melting and water is. So far there is any scientist tried or want to try how much water reduced in the ocean. Because of these rains and melting of the glaciers, how much water increased? Any scientist can measure it, and measuring is necessary. It is vast, infinite. In the same way, this in such a, as like that the river, ocean is so content and full, it is already full. And no, ocean knows also all these are my vibhutis. All these waters which are coming from different apuryamana machala pratishtam samudramabha pravishanti yadvati, as like that. Now this gnani tadvat, in the same way, all the kamas, all the desires, all the mental anxiousness or the thoughts, everything is actually here. Yadvat kamaha pravishanti means everything is in me only. Without fulfilling, I am fulfilled. How come? Because individually I am craving to fulfill, but now I discover that I am not individual. These individual cravings and the greediness, all this to limited body upadhi, ignorant person. But a person who is become now Gnani is understanding it. I am as the consciousness, as the Atma, as the Brahman. I am only pervading in and through everywhere. Then everything is I am only, and everything is in me only. Then where is the question of desire? What for I have to crave? What for I have to suffer? What for I have to run behind? So he is very content, and he is gone beyond the upadhi, limitation of the body and the mind. So for him, see conclusion. So for whom all these desires are sublimated and entered into him, and he is now not a limited person. He is identified himself with the totality. To such a person alone, Shanti is equal to moksham is possible. Sa Shantim apnoti. Here Shanti means moksham, liberation, while living, Jivan Muktata. Sa Shantim apnoti. Now, not any other kama kami. That means who? Arjuna, not to any other person who is so great, who is Indra, who is Chandra, who is emperor of the entire universe, and who desires keep on desire and fulfills his desire also, but no, for certain he is not a peaceful person. Means what? He cannot get the moksha. He cannot get the liberation while living Jivan Muktata. Kama Kami. That means Kama Kami, who is not having control on his desires, who is not able to see the oneness in spite of the manyness, whose vision and perception is not on the oneness but on the manyness. To such a person, this Atyantika Shanti, okay, Nirankusha Trupti, the moksha, freedom from all these bondages of karma, janma and kama. Kama, karma, janma is a bondage. He recognized now itself, in this body, in this life itself, he attained that Shanti. Then in 71st shloka, as a concluding portion now, Bhagavan tells that whatever I told, who is that Kama Kami, who is that who attained the Shanti Moksha, and if that is now some landmarks he is telling to clarify that point. Vihaya kamanyas sarvan pumanscharati nispruhah Nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantimadhigacchati. Arjuna, finally, I am telling you very simply, if you understood all my discussions and everything is well and good, but anyhow, still I want to make you clear, make your understanding more clear, point wise. See, vihaya sarvan kaman puman yaha saha charati nispruhaha. So, okay, so big sentence. Vihaya, having given up, see, prajahati, that now here vihaya, both are one and same. Jahati, prakarshena jahati, vihaya, parityajya, having given up. Sarvan kaman, there also told. Prajahati yada kama, sarvan, there also same word. So, started that, concluding. Sarvan kaman, sahapuman, that person, yah charati, he lives in this world. That's why both are on the seashore, some same place. Both are looking at the same world. Gnani also having body and Ajnana also having body. So charati, Arjuna asked the question in the beginning for the 4 questions about Sthitaprajnasya ka bhasha, Samadhistha Keshava, Sthitadi kim prabhashet, kim vrajeta, charati. Yah charati, yes, he moves. How he moves? Nispruhaha, he will be indifferent. Okay? That means not depending on this outer world for anything. But at the same time, he is not rejecting the outer world also. Okay? Shankara writes for this, Sharira jivana matre api nirgata spruha yasya. His spruha, his dependency, only minimum to keep this body to just live. Minimum required things. More than that, he doesn't care. He don't worry for living more. He don't worry about the dying today, now, this moment. So nispruhaha means indifferent. Okay, that means not depending on anything. Okay, not depending on anything. So in this way, because he is not depending on anything, nirahankaraha nirmamaha. Here there is no ahankara. I am the jiva, I am a so and so, I have achieved this, all that. There is no any kind of sense of arrogance or sense of guilt. Nirmama, nirahankara. Naturally, when ahankara is nullified, there is no mamakara. If I am not itself is not real or there. What is there? Then only Ishvara is there, Bhagavan is there. Then where is the question of me here? Then if me is not there, where is the question of mine, mamakara? But a Ajnani, as I told, that who is giving importance to the manyness of the small wave, big wave, he cries like a child. So this life then becomes runs based on the ahankara and mamakara. Okay? Aham mama iti abhinivesha. Shankara writes, abhinivesha means mad rush and too much attached to this ahankara and mamakara. A bloated, strong ahankara and mamakara. Abhinivesha got caught up. That is not there with him. Varjitaha. Nir means no ahankara. Ahankara varjitaha. mamakara varjitaha. Varjita means who dropped. That person adhigacchati shantim. He abides in the truth. Here, adhigacchati means prapnoti. Brahma bhutaha bhavati ityarthaha. Here, adhigacchati means he sits, he abides. Here, sits, abides, apnoti means no going, no traveling, nothing. He recognizes himself as the Brahman. That's why Brahma bhutaha bhavati. Brahma bhutaha bhavati. So then when I recognize myself as the Atma, Brahman, then everything is in me. Brahmavit Brahmaiva bhavati. Mundakopanishad tells. So Brahmavit, knower of the Brahma, he won't be as a knower of the Brahma. Yes, I know the Brahma. Oh, Brahma is different. The known person, I am different. No. Once if this Ganga river now understood, got the Gnanam and merged in the ocean, what happened? In fact, it has become big. In fact, the glory has increased. And all the smallness and the small petty thinking are gone. So it is not losing actually, it is gaining. And after that, there is no Ganga to talk. There is no Ahankara, there is no Mamakara. So, unless a person drops this Ahankara, Mamakara intellectually by understanding, there is no liberation. Shantim, here general translation peace, but I told you moksham never gets. But this person, here our hero, Gnani, vihaya kamanya sarvan puman sharati nispruhaha. So what are the main points? Kaman vihaya, number one. Charati nispruhaha, charati nirmamaha bhavati, nirahankaraha charati. Naturally, Shanti Moksham is my own birthright. I need not to beg or pray to somebody. That is all gone. I have all done that. Whom I have to beg? I am everything. And when I recognize I am everything, then there is a duality. When there is no duality, whom I ask what? So, moksham, shanti. So, what is his understanding? I am now and before, afterwards, I am always Purnam only, I am Brahman only. Now, unfortunately, because of the ignorance and ahankara, mamakara, all is blah 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 blah. Coolly think and see in the life how much we are struggling, how much we are holding on, and small things making the person so disturbed and irritated and frustrated and depression, suppression, expression, and then inferior, superior complexes, where they are. When you see oneness, the water, where are the differences? To see the water, to recognize I am myself. Sir, I am seeing the water only, sir, but see the sir waves. That's why I told that example. Perceived is one, but the perception is different. Now change the perception, change your angle of vision. Then that changing the angle of the vision and perception is itself is called Gnanam, recognition. Cognition and recognition is the moksha. Don't think that something still again I have to do. No need. By doing it won't come. By knowing it will happen. There is a lot of difference for doing and knowing. In Brahmagnana there is no doing. There is only knowing and being. That's why knowing itself is being and being itself is knowing. They are not two. But that perfect understanding, Gnana Nishtha, has to come. Now the last shloka of the second chapter. Esha brahmi stitih partha nainam prapya vimuhyati stitva syam antakalepi brahma nirvana mruchyati. He Partha, Arjuna, Esha, as I explained so far, Yadhokta, this, Brahmi Sthiti. See, Brahmasthi. That means what Shankara gives, Sarva Karma Sanyasya Brahma Rupena Eva Avastitam Brahmi Sthiti. See, that's why I told just now, doing nothing will happen. By knowing, it will happen. So, Sarvam Karma Sanyasya means what? Don't think that by doing this, I will get something. What you will get something, you will get only the bandha. So, Sarva Karma, that's why Ahankara Mamakara Nispruha. Sarvam Karma Sanyasya Brahma Rupena Eva. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmaivahamasmi. Yo hamasmi Brahma hamasmi. Brahma Rupena Eva. Eva. Only. That is enough. Ultimately, what we want? Peace of mind. Shanti. Shanti. Shantireva Shanti. In doing, repetition is there. In finite, repetition is possible. In knowing, there is no repetition. In the infinite, there is no repetition. You cannot repeat the silence, but you can repeat the Om, Om. Because it is finite repetition, but infinite silence is there or not? While chanting it also there, in between also is there, it's always there. Understand this. So, Esha Brahmi Sthiti means that Prapya, having attained this Enam, this Brahmi Sthiti, Na Vimuhyati. Now, here there is no question of again once more getting deluded. If this knowledge is properly received, properly assimilated and properly claimed as I am, then there is no question of delusion. After listening all this also, then again practically when the life situations comes, that will be there. That is why then the benefit of this knowledge is when practically threatens and up and downs and the problems and the things goes here and there, that time if you are still not getting disturbed, not getting identified with them, not again getting deluded, is called Gnana Nishtha. That is called Brahmi Sthiti. These are not just words. The meaning should be taken in it, and I have to. We have to. No choice. Then na muhyati. Not only that, stitva asyam antakale api. Then, sir, now I abided in this Brahma Sthiti, Brahmi Sthiti. Everything is, now I have to practice. Practicing of knowledge is there. Practicing means doing only. Now, sir, you only told that the doing never do any knowledge you can keep on. Then what to do? Because you have not established in the, still the old vasanas and these upadhis, the world threatens, comes to attack us. So that the time, whenever, again that delusion and moha, ahankara, mamakara, then and there immediately you rectify, you tell to that again, remember this practice. So put the practice the knowledge means what? Remembering the knowledge. It is not doing. So remembering also is doing. Yes, okay. Remembering is doing only. But actual doing and remembering is difference is there. It is okay, mental activity. That is required. That much doing is required. Remembering itself is doing, not more than that anything. So, antakale api, we live after Bhagavad Gita got completed, Upanishads I studied everything. Now my life is fulfilled. I got what I have to get. I have done what I have to do, and I got it what I have to do. Yet, kritam, what I have to do, supposed I have done. Okay. Kartavyam krutam, praptavyam praptam. But still, because of the prarabdha, this body live for another few years, any number of years. But this person, until the end time, the leaving time of the body, the disintegration of the body, then after that he attains oneness. After once it disintegrated, that means what? So far we are talked about the Jivan Mukti, Moksha, Shanti, and don't have any doubt about it. He never again enter into any other body and never come back to the samsara. That means Videha Mukti also is guarantee. When? If you gain the Jivan Mukti. That's why Adhigacchati Brahma Nirvanam. So that point also Bhagavan simply in one sentence, Videha Mukti is also guarantee. Guarantee means Brahma Nirvritim Moksham Gacchati. Nirvanam, Brahma Nirvanam. Nirvana means Nirvritim, Shantim, Moksham, Brahma. He attained the Brahma Sthiti. He recognized, I am the Brahman. So with this, we have completed this big chapter, one of the big chapters of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now we will read the Pushpika. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayaha Harihi Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.